The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Fizz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot the depot, yes, these are the sports podcasts live as a pros course. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the force ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and a view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season. The people start five. We going in on three. Run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three. Run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign. I'm the illest cat stick. I got what you need.
I'll tell you now, this weekend, I finally got something that I needed. It's a much-deserved fucking break. What'd you say?
I said, it looks like you need the hooks box to me.
Fucking jealous, baby. Anyway, it's your boy, the man, fucking Tyrone, and interrupting the introductions. We back with the newest episode.
Was. All right, so I'm out here alone in this joint?
No, you're not anymore. Okay. And just for Tyrone's fucking shit, now he's back down there. I was trying to give him the box, pause, but, you know. God damn it. Fucking jealousy made you fuck up my introduction. Go ahead, Tyrone. What's good, brother? What's up, brother?
I had a Dan moment this week at work because I had to check myself before these hands and feet went on somebody. And I had to think about, I thought about you too. I was like, man, look, I worked too hard to get to this point to let somebody take it away from me. But so we had a problem.
So you did it. You had a what would Dan do moment? You had a what would Dan Dinkins do moment?
So we had a problem. And in the morning meeting, we have morning meetings in construction. They bring the bosses out and they like, hey, Tyrone, what was the problem? Blah, blah, blah. I explained it. I explained the solution. I explained how we going to do everything. That was fine. That was at 6 o'clock in the morning. 9:30, these motherfuckers walk up on me. Hey, Tyrone, what are we doing? Blah, blah, blah. Hey, I'm executing the plan that I said this morning. Well, what's that? Dude, I fucking told you this morning. I mapped it out. I didn't change nothing since I've been out here. You know what I mean? Like I'm executing the same plan I told you this morning. Well, I need to do a report. Well, do your report. Well, I need the information. Do your report on the information I gave you this morning. Shit didn't change. So I'm like, all right, cool. He walked away. 11:30, y'all wouldn't believe it. This motherfucker comes back out again. Are we sticking to the same game plan we had this morning? So I'm like, I'm not fucking telling you again. And he, oh, you will. Then he hit the whole, oh, you're going to tell me whatever I need to know. Like doing all this shit. And I took my hand out my pocket. I balled it. And then, I said, what would Dan do? And then, you know what I mean? So thank you, Dan. You saved me again. Because I was having a problem.
Well, TJ, since he disregarded opening shout outs, just get into how your week has been. I love it, though, that because I appreciate that because I had another one of those weeks. But I'm not reciting. I'm letting y'all have it this week. I'm just happy personally. I'm finally getting 2 days off in a row. That's it.
Wow.
That's it. I'm happy I'm getting 2 days off in a row. TJ. Did you freeze?
No, I'm good. I'm good. So my week was pretty good. Um, my week was pretty good. Nothing to complain about really. I actually got gifted a $75 cigar last night, so that was the highlight of my week. Um, Opus X 20th anniversary, uh, from a stranger no less, at the cigar shop last night. So we was out there chilling, hanging, and he was telling me about the cigars he smokes and stuff like that. So I thought that was dope. Very, very kind of him. It was a brother too, so that was even more dope. Um, yeah. Besides that, I mean, I had a little tiff with some this new hire at work on Tuesday and Wednesday, but I don't know how she got to the position she's in and to be such an idiot. But I'm not going to get
Another
into it.
one?
People.
Another one?
I mean, when you say you're going to send stuff to people's house and you give them the tracking number to find it, you expect them to be home to receive it. And FedEx had to go back to her house 3 times before she got the package. But she talking about FedEx never came by her house, and I'm like, did you read the email I sent you? It has the tracking number right in the subject line that says tracking number with the tracking number on it. You know, but she's gonna tell me, "Oh, I'm the SVP of sales. I'm the SVP." I'm like, I don't know. Was that stupid? Very politely? Is that what that means?
The
Because
Scott Van
I don't
Pelt.
understand what you're the SVP of. If you can't,
She's the Scott Van Pelt of
I don't
sales.
know what SVP means to me. Yeah, that's it. Besides that, like I said, it was a good week. I'm surprised I'm out here in this cold, but the sun is out. I got my Woolrich on, and when I got the Woolrich on, I don't feel no kind of cold. So besides that, it's good. I'm gonna smoke that cigar in Costa Rica when I go this year, though. So I'm saving it
He
for that
feel
trip.
rich,
It was a
Jamal. He don't feel
$75
the
cigar. I'm
wool.
gonna let that.
No, it's it.
He don't feel the wool. He
Hmm.
feel rich right now.
I don't.
$75 Opus in a like $1,000 jacket, like TJ balling right now.
All right, yo. What's up, y'all? No, my week was just cold, man. She done shoveled about 3 or 4 times. Realized my old ass needs to reinvest in some long johns again because winter decided it wanted to return this year and bust my ass on the
You
ice
don't
in
got
the
a
driveway.
snowblower, Jay? You don't got a
No sir.
snowblower?
No man, I don't got a garage. I got nowhere to keep it. So and I ain't holding that shit in out the basement, man. You know what I mean? So
I hear you.
no, that's it, man. It's been a kind of calm week. I worked from home most of the week. I only went to the city twice. Um, yeah, we got hit with a little snow and some ice up here, and just chilling, man.
Word. I mean, that's kind of really like all we got was just the ice end of it. Like the snow was just like, I'm here, but I'm just letting you know I'm here just a little bit. you know. But yo, this week was all I gotta just say is I'm glad it's done because the last day yesterday, it be your own people that can set you up for failure sometimes. And I'm not talking about this, I'm talking about the uniform.
I got you.
And I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that, man. But we gonna talk about them NFL playoffs in a minute. Y'all don't care. You don't care about my face. Y'all can try to bash me about my Philadelphia Eagles all you want. I'm just giving y'all the prequel. You're not gonna offend me personally because I did call and say my team looked like a first round exit.
You were right
You
about
know,
that.
Yeah, man. There ain't even nothing you can say.
yeah, my bad. But this is
Yeah.
just the fuck you, Dallas Cowboys, and we're gonna save that for later because this is I don't care, Tyrone. You made up 3/4 of the NFC least in this podcast. This is the number one Cowboy hater show, even though we give props when due, but this is the number one Cowboy hater show. So every time they do bad in the playoffs, we talk about them VHS boys. Go ahead.
Um, First of all, don't give your little bullshit Eagles disclaimer, okay? Because even though you said they look like a first a first round, first game exit. They weren't supposed to play Tampa Bay. That's number one. And number two, it's not about that they look like a first game exit. It's the way they went out, dude. That was embarrassing.
And pause right there, because all I was doing was giving a prequel. We wasn't going into it just now. We were going into the team that's on TJ's hat right now, because he wanted to talk about us for a quick minute.
Yes. Our team played the Toronto Raptors last night. RJ and quickly came back and they received their flowers. It was nice tribute what they did to them. They got standing ovations when the names were announced in the lineups, and they did a little video tribute.
Well deserved too.
And then they proceeded to get beat.
Yeah. But,
just like TJ's internet continuously beats the shit out of him each and every weekend. But go ahead, Jamal, build on.
No, it was well deserved, man. There's still rumors of the Knicks making some more moves. So far, all the news about the Knicks so far this season, from I have to give it to them from Woj, has been spot on. So they still looking to make another move or so. As long as they keep continuing playing consistent basketball, man, beat the teams they should beat, show constant improvement, it's a win. Every year, constant improvement. That's all, man. I ain't got no delusions of grandeur. Knicks winning the chip. Of course, we won the chip. But they playing good ball right now.
Jay.
Yes, sir. That OG
Do
trade
you believe
is continuing to pay off dividends. So, yeah.
We need to get TJ.
Do you believe the rumor about?
Which rumor?
Do you believe the rumor about Utah wanting Grimes for Clarkson? Like, will Danny Ainge be able to pull that off?
I believe they want Grimes. I think they wanted Grimes before, when they first time they were looking at going for Donovan
for Mitchell.
He was on the no-fly list. Now he's not. The problem is Danny Ainge is greedy. He wanted everything the Knicks had for Donovan Mitchell, and Cleveland was dumb enough to give them everything they had, and now they got a great squad, but they got no room to get nobody else to support. So
right.
And Leon Rose, I give Leon Rose an A, man. He's been managing. He's been doing what other Knicks GMs have not been able to do, is not spend money on stupid shit, not get fleeced,
yep,
and say, okay, we'll wait. And so I don't know. I know Clarkson's in the mix. They still talk about DeJounte. About
Brogdon's in the mix too. Yeah.
An old boy from Charlotte. What's his name? Oh God damn! I can't remember his name now.
Oh, Rozier, Terry Rozier.
Yeah, but I was like, I think he occupies a lot of the same space Josh Hart does. So I don't think that's a good move. We don't need another one. So
Danny Ainge, still to this day is like trying to chase the high like a crackhead from what he did in Boston when he used to be able to fleece teams no problem. And so like the way you described Jamal is just like I just caught what your joint says. Former champion turnstile hopper. I just caught what your name said. Nah, but Danny Ainge, he's gotta I guess catch up with the times, because like what he pulled off in Boston in the early 2000s. I was about to say the early 20s. Talking about like the late 1900s, like these young kids try to do to us. we was born in the 1900s, but what he tried to do in like them late 2010s, 2018, 2008 to 10s or whatever, that shit don't work no more. It ain't gonna work the same. I think everybody got a little bit smarter, and our Knicks holding on to all those picks and stuff. I think we showed that these GMs are getting a little bit smarter out there, not giving up everything.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Sorry, I said my piece. Go ahead.
Is this Knicks situation for you guys a trust the process, like the Philly situation?
Nah,
No,
we ain't putting labels on it like them Sixers did.
No. This is just called competent basketball management for once. this, this is what this is called, bro. That's all it is. Like the Knicks are finally decided to be a professional basketball team.
yes, yes, and they got real talent around them this time too. We're not. It's just not one player and a bunch of role players who don't fit. Like this is a real team, and they're playing together. The most together I've seen since the '90s. Like they're really putting it together. And Jalen Brunson has proven that he is a bucket. This dude is a walking bucket. Like he can score almost at will at this point. It's ridiculous what we're getting, the production we're getting from him. I mean,
Sure.
talk about one of the best free agent signings in Knicks history. This has got to be top tier, greatest signing of all time in my, as far as I've seen the Knicks. Even outside of Melo, and Melo was a trade. He wasn't even a free agent. So we didn't have to give away the house to get this dude. We will have to pay him next year when his contract comes to re-up, but he's been worth every penny.
Yes, sir. Remember, folks were shitting on the Knicks for signing Brunson and giving him that money, and now we got him for a steal. Because when his contract's up, you know what he's gonna command.
What's the
Yeah.
what's the time frame for all this Knicks excitement to start to fester off? Like, I mean, like, do they have to win? How many seasons before y'all are looking at a championship before y'all go, oh well, this was a fucking
To
disaster?
me,
We still got,
to me, there is no time frame. Like Jamal said, just consistency. I mean, this is a slow build. We've been without since the 70s. What's a few more years? This ain't we're not your normal talking head sports show that's got a time for no, there's no the time frame right now is let's just continue to progress slowly. Let's get the right pieces we need when we can. And that's it. And that's it. I'm not placing we got 5 years, we got 4 years, and placing it around contracts, players, and stuff. No, let's just continuously build and shape and mold until we get to where we need to get to, and then pedal to the metal, go all out. Real quick before y'all go, Ed said collusion. Brunson is killing it. His father set that up for the Knicks beautifully,
He
and
sure motherfucking did. Yes, he did.
absolutely.
Call it what it is. That was collusion. That is 100% right.
he said the total fine paid by MSG was acceptable in light of getting that type of talent, even if this happened in the most shady of Dolan-esque ways, in parentheses, and politically, this is how moves in the shadows and is kingmaker in the political world. Which, after y'all make y'all points, Jim Dolan, I was just saying to somebody the other day, as Knick fans, we might be possibly and potentially getting what we want.
Yeah, he may be out of there.
So do y'all want to go and continue on Tyrone's point, or do you want to finally maybe celebrate a little prematurely? Like, what do y'all want to do?
There's no celebration because Dolan is a gremlin. I'll give him his props for putting that squad together of Leon, Worldwide West, and Steve Stout and all of them, and staying the fuck out the way for most of it, and not doing the gremlin things he usually does. But he can never, ever, 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 ever be forgiven for what he's done to past Knick greats and not being able to control himself. And my feeling is he's not being talked about, which is good. He's not in the papers, which is good. And he is not going to be able to tolerate that for much longer because he needs attention. And with any luck, he sells the team and gets the fuck out of there.
Well, TJ, I'm sure you've been seeing with that whole sell the team notion, allegedly more allegation. I mean, some not more, but some sexual allegations of him being an alleged sex pest has been coming up. And
Yeah.
part by way of the Instagram. I got wind of it, of the Instagram of a certain woman we wanted to talk about by way of Tyrone mentioning her a little while ago. But yeah, I mean, I was seeing a lot of it on Rachel Nichols' page about Dolan being an ultimate sex pest. And that right there was just like, there might be some light at the end of the tunnel. Where this might be vindication for all the years where we said he gotta go. All the years when that guy got banned from the garden after showing up to the garden with the big ass pink slip saying give James Dolan the pink slip. Like
Mm-hmm.
this this might be years and decades of we might get what we want, yo.
It's not jinx it, but yeah.
I mean, we can hope and pray for something like that, but that man, as you've seen, he's hard to remove, and he's been doing this for a long, long time now, fighting these fights and fighting these battles. So, I mean, if this one gets him out, great. But be careful what you wish for, because I don't want somebody just as bad coming in and buying the Knicks either. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody competent. I want somebody who's able to run a franchise like the way we've been running it as of right now. But he owns everything. Like, he owns MSG Network, he owns the Rangers, he owns Madison Square Garden. For him to sell off the team and still keep control of everything else, he might be a complete asshole and tell the Knicks they can't play there anymore. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta see how it plays out. But
True indeed.
as long as Dolan, like Jay said, as long as he just keeps his hands off the team, we're good right now. And if he doesn't get involved with us trading for a superstar in the next year or two, and he stays away from that, and we can do something like Jamal said, competent, and get a real superstar, then I'll be happy.
But yo, see, here's the thing. He owns all of that, right? But if the investors behind each and every one of those pieces of company that he owns ain't happy, and as the controversy builds more and more and more, we're going to keep hearing about each domino falling more and more and more. And I'm not celebrating too early. Of course not. Of course not. That's like doing the dance before scoring the touchdown, and then you're Leon Lett, Don Beebe. You know what I'm saying? You're Leon Lett and Don Beebe, and you're celebrating before you get in the end zone. You got to be quicker than that. Time. I'm with time. All I want to see him own left is JD and the short shots, and that's it. That's all I want to see.
Well, let's see what happens, man. I mean, and TJ, to your point, if we lose him, I mean, the billionaire class is full of Rumpelstiltskins, man. So there's high odds of getting somebody like that. But Daniel Snyder left, and who thought that was going to happen? You know what I mean? So I think he can't stand being out of the limelight. And who knows? Low key, the NBA may be pushing them stories to get him out of it, to get himself. So,
Old boy from the Clippers too, but
he's
go ahead, Tyrone.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tyrone.
You know what though?
That's a good point.
When you talk about, I'd be mad because the simple fact is I don't necessarily want people like that to win. And even though y'all brought up Dan Snyder and the ball for the Clippers, right? And they didn't lose. I mean, Dan Snyder sold the bum ass Commanders, and that's my team, but they bum ass. He sold a team that's not winning, that's not going nowhere for $7 billion.
For profit, yeah.
That's a come up.
No, yeah.
You know
And that's
I mean?
a great.
So
My bad.
it didn't feel like a punishment. It felt like, my man, okay, yeah, you don't own the team no more. You had to get out, but $7 billion. I mean, it's like fuck it.
Yeah, but that's just the individual. And then whatever people who had money invested get their share and they get broke off. Cool. You won. You're out of our fucking hair. Now give us somebody that is willing to, quote unquote, please their fan base to then generate the money. Without us, without the fan base, they don't get money. but give us somebody like what's the was Steve Ballmer is the guy who owns the Clippers now, right?
Mhm.
Like I would love to have a guy like him right now, but with him keeping a Leon Rose and these guys who are the good basketball minds that are keeping everything intact. We do need somebody that's willing to throw money at a problem, but with the right decision makers to throw the money accurately at the right pieces and not just willy-nilly like what Dolan tried to do, pre and post Mello. You know what I'm saying? Starberry didn't work out, though I love the fact that the Brooklyn boy was back in New York. You know what I'm saying? I loved it. But, Jim Dolan tried to throw money at the problems in the 2000s. They're here, let's get this player. And then they talk us up like we were supposed to win everything with one major guy. And then all he was doing was just winning in the wallet. But fuck the fans, right or wrong, y'all.
Well, there's no Isaiah now. Also, Jim Dolan was not competent in terms of who he was getting to run these teams. And when he did get somebody competent, he put his hands all over the bullshit. He wouldn't let Donnie Walsh do his job. He gave Isaiah way too much power. And so I think with Leon and them, he couldn't do that. That's probably built into that contract. You need to stay the fuck out because I've never seen him this hands off. But yo, hopefully most owners aren't as horrible as and Ed is probably right because if you see what he says there, the oil sheik, I wouldn't doubt if some Saudis bought that up because of how valuable the Knicks are.
That would be crazy.
Still the most, you see what Knicks tickets cost right now? So,
whoever Facebook user is, we gonna come back to this comment in a little while. He said, Dan, that's what Jerry Jones does to the Cowboys fans, regardless of what he says. We're going to come back to that Facebook user.
So here's the thing. As much as I want the Knicks to win a championship, I do not want to see Dolan when they hand out the trophy on the stage and they handed him the fucking trophy on the stage when the Knicks win. I do not want to see that shit. I'll be happy, but I was like, they were like, James Dolan, how do you feel? The Knicks just.
What TJ said, I totally fucking agree. I don't want to see Cobra Commander with their trophy at the end of it all in his hand. I don't want to see Cobra Commander or Serpento celebrating.
That dude look like fucking retired Major Blood.
Like we did it. No more retreating. No more retreating. We don't need to see that shit.
No, I don't want to see it. That would disgust me because that'll be on the front fucking page of the paper. Him holding up the fucking trophy with the players standing behind him, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to ever see that picture.
TJ,
I don't want to ever see that visual.
TJ, imagine, and it would definitely be on this newspaper. He'll be on the cover of the New York Post in a big fold out.
Yep.
And on one side it's gonna say told y'all, the other side is gonna say niggas. So you flip it out, told y'all niggas, we gonna do it. And it's just gonna be no Knicks players, no nothing, just James Dolan. Maybe his short shots in the background. I'm sorry. I hate that. For JD in the short shot sounds like 1986.
The Post gonna try and the New York Post is gonna try and make it sound like it was all Dolan's genius that led to something like that. But yeah, I don't want him getting the trophy either, man.
Not at all.
Especially,
No, my bad. Go ahead.
No, just the shit that he done to Ewing, Spike Lee, Oakley, the list goes on, man. You know, just an unscrupulous human being. You know who he votes for and who he gave money to. So, it was what Ed said. That's true.
Yes, Ed said that's how unlikable James Dolan.
Yes, absolutely. Those are facts.
fans prefer murdering oil sheiks that Larry O'Brien trophy than James effing Dolan. Yes, Ed. Yes.
That's the way them
Yes.
Sheiks is playing right now. They doing that in all sports.
Yep.
They making
Fuck 'em.
boxing better. They making everything. They putting on the fights people want to see.
They bring back the Undertaker
They
and
giving
Bill
they
and
giving
fucking
bags to everybody.
And
they bring back the Undertaker and freaking Brock Lesnar once a year for a heavy bag, like, and Bill Goldberg for a heavy bag one. Yeah. Give me that. For a Knicks championship, if there was a devil, sold. If there was a devil, sold. Sold. But Tyrone,
Yeah,
we brought
that's
that point up
crazy.
by way of Rachel Nichols and her Instagram. What did you want to talk about with her again?
No, I just didn't. I didn't get the full story when it happened. I was kind of like, oh, sad about it, but I didn't want to dig into it because of the racial stuff and the racist stuff and all that. So I kind of like tried to just, I kind of brushed over it. But then I saw her interview and I was just like, to invade someone's personal space and know that you're doing it and not say nothing, not stop it. That's what I found ridiculous about it, was that all this came out from somebody that was just like listening in on her personal life for hours, dude. And I just thought that was crazy that somebody could listen to her personal life for hours and not get in trouble for it at all. So that's the crazy part that I thought about, when I heard her interview.
Well, to reset the table, what he's talking about is when, what was it, a couple years, or at least 2 or 3 years now, right? When the whole Rachel Nichols was caught saying stuff about ESPN. People thought and assumed that she was talking bad about why did I forget her name again? TJ?
Maria
Maria
Taylor.
Taylor. Yeah,
Maria
Maria
Taylor.
Taylor and Malika Andrews and stuff. And at the time, because again, people didn't get full context of it, she was just describing how she wanted to see those women win. But just like most other competitive people, you don't want to see them win at the cost of you. And ESPN made it at the cost of her to try to make themselves look good in the eyes of the people, just to try to make themselves look progressive. And we all, Jamal, TJ, I know we all remember that because we were talking about that here as it happened. Like ESPN made themselves look bad. And then I believe, because what I was reading up on it before, because I was looking to see, did something new happen? But it was just the fact that All the Smoke, shout outs to them, they moved over to the Metallark Network, which is Dan Lebitard's new, not new, but fairly new over the years sports network. They do, web internet shows, podcasts, and things like that. And I believe Tyrone had just mentioned that they interviewed her again, or they interviewed her back when that happened. I'm not sure, but he picked up the story late.
Well, my thing was that they said the thing that got me was that she said that the information that they got, she said that she unpacked her clothes, she unpacked her bag, she called her doctor, she called her husband, she called her friends. Like she said that she spent 3 hours talking and doing her regular everyday life. If somebody listened to that, somebody knew that mic was live for 3 hours at ESPN and waited till they got a juicy tidbit to go and expose her like that. And I'm just like, why didn't somebody just call and say, hey, Rachel, your shit's still on, everybody can still hear this. So it's like, it feels like because she stood up for herself and because she made that stance with ESPN that they fucking kind of almost purposely like found something on her, you know what I mean? Because it's like, who would do that? Like if I knew, like Dan, like if we closed the show out and you didn't turn your mic off and I was still on for whatever reason and I heard you talking to your wife and kids, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna listen to that. I'm gonna be like, yo, Dan, your shit's still on, So for somebody to sit there for 3 or 4 hours and listen to her personal life, that's real fucked up. No matter what she said or what she did, that's still a fucked up situation.
Nah, true indeed. Jamal, TJ, what y'all got?
Well, you know how it goes, man.
Um,
We've all been there when
go ahead, Jamal.
a company or corporation wants to get rid of you, they're gonna find some way to do it, man. And I think they were just trying to move her out for whatever else they wanted to do. And it was shady, it was shiesty as fuck, you know. But you know, ESPN is a machine and a living beast, and why would you expect any less?
Yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, Dan, like the whole thing lacked context on how everything went down. So I get that part, but also, um, like what just happened right now with the whole Sports Illustrated, with them firing everybody, that was crazy too. I don't know if you guys picked up on that. Jamal, did you see that with Sports Illustrated fired their
Yo,
entire staff?
No, I didn't see. I didn't see it.
keep going on that because that's all I've heard so far was I read that Sports Illustrated like just hot fired everybody. And like a couple of the TikToks I was seeing was like, yo, this might be the end of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah,
It's print media, right?
yeah, they go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
Just more
well,
lines of the
apparently,
death of fucking print media, man. So,
yeah, apparently the company owns Sports Illustrated's like naming rights or something like that. They pay some ridiculous amount for Sports Illustrated naming rights, and they were short on the bill, so they had to fire everybody. And this is the same company that owns like Shaq's likeness, Michael Jordan's likeness, and something else. They own a shit ton of companies, and something happened where they couldn't afford the naming rights for Sports Illustrated to pay the bill, so they had to fire everybody. And that's what I was reading anyway.
That's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I just still find it crazy that you can own the rights to somebody's name and just utilize it as you want willy-nilly in a way. I'm sure with a Jordan likeness situation, he's got to have final approval. I'm sure the same thing with Shaq, but that also goes to show you why they are as wealthy as they are because they were able to build themselves up to where they could say, "Hey, you want to use my name on shit?" You know what I'm saying? Like it's just that simple. You want to use my name on shit? You gotta pay me this much, you know. I think maybe that's probably the reason why. Thinking about that, like that's probably the reason why we could see Michael Jordan in video games and shit like that now. You know, when Jordan didn't allow that shit at all, definitely during his playing career. Ed said it was a $3.1 million fee. How a sports magazine of that prestige doesn't have 3 million is a problem of mismanagement. I would say the same, Jamal. That it does sound like a problem of mismanagement, but like you said, the death of print media, like I mean, it's been real. It's been real, even to the point of like I was listening to one of my video game podcasts last night, and they were talking about some article where somebody kind of like alluded to people, game players and stuff got to get used to the subscription-based gaming type of services for the future. Like, but the way that it was worded as far as the headline was a bit misleading. But it's real though. Like the way that the path of like just thinking game wise, like the path of Game Pass, PlayStation Plus Store, Nintendo eShop, things like that, you know, the streaming of games, you know, we've seen the issue with that just happened with Sony where they mentioned like, oh, if you bought something on this platform from back in the day that was under this licensing, you no longer own that title, the same title you paid for. So we're going to a digital everything.
But here's the problem with the streaming, the video game industry, right? We want to complain about it, right? But we do it to ourselves because when you go and you play NBA Live, I mean not NBA Live, but NBA 2K, right? Now they have all these microtransactions, all this virtual currency you can buy and do like. You don't have to do that. You don't have to buy any of that stuff. You can play the game. You can go to practice. You can make your player a better player by going to practice and doing all that stuff. But see, it's too time consuming for us. So what we do is we buy the virtual currency, we make all the microtransactions so that we can save time and spend more time playing the game than time actually developing our player. So when you got people that's buying using virtual currency to buy clothes, using virtual currency to buy statistics for their player, and now a person like me who don't want to buy virtual currency can't compete online because somebody that bought the game yesterday spent enough virtual currency to have their player at a 90, and I'm starting my player out at 72, and he's busting my ass all day. So we can't, because they know we're going to consume it, they're going to make us buy it, dude. And that's just how it is.
Right. But back to the print media side of things, though, Jamal, like time has been showing like the internet is king and queen and high
Internet.
ruler over everything. There's still magazine stores, but how many people are still going to these stores to buy magazines? How many people are still like when you could go on a T-Mobile Tuesday on the app and get a choice of 4 different magazine services for $1? Like that show, where is print media going?
Yeah, bro. It's also just the change in society. It's the reliance on hot takes over articles, the lack of respect for expertise over bombastic statements and stuff like that. Nobody wants to read anymore. They want it force fed. They want it quick. They want a synopsis. They don't want the nuanced, the in-depth stuff. And print media is dying a slow death. And they have to convert to either broadcast or the internet. And if they don't have that, it's bye-bye. If they don't have that expertise, that skill set, or figure out a way to do that, this is what's happening. But go ahead, Ty.
Print media kind of almost fucked themselves. And I noticed because I used to have a Game Informer subscription, and I used to have a subscription to Maxim magazine. Those were the 2 magazine subscriptions I used to have. And then Maxim started telling me that if I ordered Maxim online, I would get more pictures, I would get exclusive stuff, I would get more stuff ordering the magazine online than I would get ordering the magazine, getting the magazine delivered to my house. Same thing happened with Game Informer. I went to GameStop, and when Game Informer transformed to the online Game Informer, and instead of the print, they told me there's more stuff online. Go online, go online. So they forced me to go online instead of like buying the print of the actual magazine. So they kind of like tried to jump in on the online shit, and now it's kind of biting them in the ass a little bit.
I still think it's the consumer, man. I still think it's also the consumer consumers don't read. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to read articles anymore, man. And it's horrible.
So Jamal, that's an excellent point you brought up, because is this a systemic thing? Because
yes, it's the
it goes back to
the
people don't read anymore, and they just want information told to them. Like, why aren't people reading? Everything you have to read to get information. You can't just go by what somebody's telling you in the moment. Like, you need to read. Are people not reading anymore? Are we not teaching reading? Is that the case?
They're always teaching reading, and you still have to read. But like, say somebody, I could just personal example is myself. Learning for me is easier being taught than reading for self. Now, I will read for self, but the way my brain works sometimes, I might have to read something 2 or 3 times to grasp it. I learn easier by when somebody's teaching me, give me an example, let me work it out, But if I still need to clean up or freshen up on it, then okay, the reading is the resource to go back on. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to like the way Jamal mentioned before, and say we're talking sports media and stuff like that, right? Like, we're listening to people's takes more than just somebody just giving a story. Even though, and then 2, even when we're reading an article, no matter how much research and stuff has been put into it, it's still words from somebody's view. And it's still words from somebody's opinion. Just the difference is just brushing yourself up to educate yourself on certain types of words, big words, smarter words, different words used for something simple, something that would, it could be, Stephen A type lingo, if you want to say, or what T.I. thinks he's trying to say type lingo. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only difference I see in it. Tyrone, go ahead. You was raising your hand.
Fuck them. Because listen, print media, fuck print media for real right now, because we are, because what we're doing is better. I don't care what we're doing is better, because we come on here and we do our podcast, we do stuff, and we're not also giving picks. You know what I mean? We're being informative, right? So if people not going to read, then that's fine. They're not going to read. They're not going to read print media. They might still read their regular books, comic books, and stuff like that. But print media, no. Look, come over here. Listen to our show. You want to know something about sports? Fight Sports Illustrated. Come on over here and listen to us, because we in on it. We get the stories too. We listen. We get the stories, and we don't just talk our own opinions and our own bullshit. We put facts out right here. So for right now, for what I'm doing, at print media is my competition. They're the ops for me. So I'd rather people come on here and listen to me talk and get their information from me than going to the print media anyway. So I don't care. Sports Illustrated, if they go out of business, guess what? More people is going to be over here listening to the Start Fire podcast. You know what I mean? That's how I see it.
And go to some of Ed's comments. He said it's not the people don't want to read, just like his misspelling. I get it. It's that they want the content for free, and that's the problem. The problem with Embrace Debate takes is that as much as we'll complain, we all still feed in the machine by posting it on our social medias or giving the machine ratings and clicks. The problem is the market. You, the customer, are the problem. And it's true. It's true that we are the problem. And I'm humble enough to admit I do like the newer ways that content and information is delivered sometimes over the magazine, over the newspaper, sometimes even over television. Like Tyrone said, I would rather sometimes get takes or just listen to other people's opinions by way of platforms like this. And I'm personally thankful for platforms like this, because all of those gatekeepers that held people like us down to where we couldn't display our and convey our information to the world and to the masses on how we think, those walls have been broken. Now within the podcast space, there's a new level of gatekeeper, because a lot of the people who, people try, it's always the people that come into the shit for the bag are now the ones saying, oh, the podcast space is oversaturated, this, that, and the third. To me, the podcast space is never oversaturated, because everybody's allowed to have a voice. And that's okay, in my opinion. Everybody's allowed to have a voice. And just like how everybody's allowed to have a voice, you're allowed to pick which voice you want to listen to. You're allowed to pick which voice you want to get your information from. Just like the print media competition. Daily News, the New York Post. What was some of the other? I mean, obviously the New York Times, but there was some other what was some of the other newspapers from New York City? Like when there used to be like 5 or 6 or 8 different ones, Jamal, where everybody had a choice. You had an option. You had multiple options. It goes the same way. Just like now with TV. You got multiple options on where you want to get your information from. You know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate where media is right now compared to the old school gatekeeper end of media.
What his point about not paying for it is a good point, because the simple fact of the matter is I used to buy the Daily News every day. When I used to go to high school, I used to buy the Daily News every day. It was 50 cents, and I used to take the Philadelphia Daily News to school. You open up the back sports page, it had all the stats, it had everything from all the games and all that. And that's how we used to talk sports. When we used to have lunchtime in high school, we used to use the Daily News to talk sports. We had the stats there, we had all the evidence right there in the paper. So if you said something about the Lakers, I'd be like, no, you fucking wrong. Here go the spreadsheet, here go the game point stats, everything right there in the paper, right? Daily News was 50 motherfucking cents. Then the Daily News went up to $1.50 for the same paper with no new content. Same motherfucking paper went from 50 cents to $1.50, and I said, I'm not buying that. I used to get that same shit for 50 cents. I'm not paying $1.50 for it. I go online and look the shit up myself. And that's what happened, bro.
It's called inflation.
Yeah, but some things you don't need. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they can inflate milk because motherfuckers need milk for cereals and all that. But if you inflate a newspaper that a motherfucker don't need, he ain't gonna buy.
True. We don't need milk either, technically, but I digress on that. But Ed said, honestly, it's the whiter podcasts who complain the market is saturated. I guess you're listening to more whiter podcasts, air quotes on the whiter, than not, because I'm hearing it from people that look like us. I'm hearing it from people who've been podcasting way less time than we have, but have more success because they were already famous coming into it. They were already famous coming into it.
You know what's funny about that? Every time somebody hate on me about podcasts, you know what I tell them? I'm having fun like a motherfucker. And that's what it's for. I'm having fun. And it saves me because I tell people all the time, I talk too much shit to leave it in my body. It's got to come out. And if it comes out in the street, then I got to use hands and feet because a lot of people don't know how to take what I'm saying. But when it comes out on my show, on my podcast, or it comes out on TikTok or wherever else I do my social medias, I get it out. And now it's only verbal shit. And people come at me verbally, but if verbally don't mean nothing, we can talk it out. But if I'm on these streets and I'm talking the shit that I talk, it becomes a different situation. So this is an outlet for me. And it's fun as fuck for me. And I don't care. I got the right to do it. And so I do. And I'm not worried about the oversaturation because you're not taking nothing away from me. Because me doing my show is for me, and I still have fun doing it. And I don't care if a million people are doing it. It doesn't matter. It don't bother me now.
Right, like Jamal Ed said, the price of newspapers went up and the coverage went down. New York Daily News has 5 reporters covering 11 pro teams. Let's not even talk about the New York Daily News cutting their newsroom to cover 5 boroughs. They have been mismanaged into the ground. Unmute.
Yeah. There's some truth to that, man. There's a whole lot of things that led to the destruction of print media. Not to be, against the evolution of technology, but what we are now is the media of the day, right? And sometimes the technology evolves faster than a functioning society can vet it. You know what I mean? So we're at a point right now where we have too much news, and there's so much news and so many outlets. There's no system in place to properly vet it. You're being saturated with all this information. You don't know what's bullshit and what's not. The reverse of that is you could be underinformed and not know anything. But with print media, where it started to really go downhill is when globally, really 7 or 8 major companies owned the majority of all media globally. That's when shit started going downhill. When you got 7 companies that own all the newspapers, all the radio stations, and then they started gobbling up the small local news stations, and it changed everything. It changed everything, and now you're seeing the rot that's come after that.
Yeah, absolutely, TJ. That's exactly what he said. It's cold outside, and TJ is continuing his tradition of freezing. But I will say, all this newspaper talk, I think that there was probably like 500 different newspaper outlets that were available the last time the Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl, made it that far in the playoffs. Let's celebrate. Dem VHS Boyz, Part 3. But let's get the other ones out of the way. My Philadelphia Eagles, Tyrone. Yeah, we took a whooping. We took a whooping. Now, of course, no excuses, whatever. Though we had a lot of pieces out and down in the game, but we took a beat in that I kind of expected, and I'm keeping it real. I called it when I saw the way that they played their last 6 games, where all we had to do was win a few, and we would have been the number 1 seed. All we would have had to do was win last week, and we would have had the Detroit Lions, who are no joke, but in some ways, in some respects, is still the Detroit Lions. But shout outs to Detroit for making it through. Shout outs to the Ravens last night for coming back after a 10-10 halftime and beating up on the Texans. Shout outs to CJ Stroud. I could give props to an Ohio State player who's no longer in Ohio State. I have no shame in that. I have no shame in that. Shout outs to Green Bay, TJ, for looking fucking amazing too. Green Bay has been looking really good, and they had the Niners on the ropes last night.
They had the Niners on the ropes, but I didn't expect them to win. But Green Bay, that's a win for them anyway. They weren't even supposed to be in. So for them to be where they are, for them to take out the Cowboys, for them to almost be in the NFC Championship game, everything's looking up for them. So I'm not no hate. And what I was saying to you, Dan, is like, yeah, you did say the Eagles were going to lose, but the way they lost should take you back a little bit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because losing like that in the playoffs for a team that started 10-1, that's utterly ridiculous. Okay, that's on par with them Cowboys. Okay, you want to talk about them Cowboys? The Eagles is right next to them, looking salty too. Okay,
well, so we're right next to them because we took the L, but the circumstances were totally different when you look over both sides of each team. The Cowboys was full roster healthy. They quote unquote had one of the best looking squads now it shows to be on paper, on the field, allegedly there to produce. We weren't at the same full strength that the Cowboys did, but I respect what you're saying as far as we started at 11-1 and then nosedived the way we did. But that nosedive started like the echo 6 weeks ago. So I don't know who I'm echoing off of.
TJ.
But go ahead, Jamal. I said enough about my team.
No, the Eagles.
You heard it twice, back to back.
Something happened. It's either in the locker room, somebody was hurt, or the league just caught up to them, and they just couldn't maintain after losing those 2 coordinators. And it's just that simple. It's just that simple. I can't see how that team went 10-1 like that, and then just really nosedive like that without. There's just something behind the scenes we don't know. That's about it.
Time out. Let's just be clear. That is not y'all keep talking about it was an Eagles nosedive. And it was not an Eagles nosedive for real. That 10-1 was deceptive because the Eagles, a lot of those games they won, they squeaked out. You know what I mean? We looking at them like 10-1, like they was out here dominating and then they nosedive. No, they wasn't dominating. They squeaked out. They beat Kansas City on some bullshit. They won a lot of games that they had to squeak out. So I don't think it was a nosedive. I just think that their luck ran out. That's all it is. Them games that they was able to squeak out early in the season, they wasn't able to squeak out later on. That's it. That's what I've been saying. All this whole time, I've been telling them Eagles fans, the Eagles ain't that good. Eagles ain't that good. They squeaking out games. And everybody was like, your record is what you is. But the Eagles' record was not what they is. They was a squeak it out team, and at the end of the day, they couldn't squeak them out no more. That's it. It wasn't a nosedive. It was the squeaking out and caught up to our ass.
That was and
That's
your
football, though, man.
That and your way is definitely the most simplistic way of thinking in it. Yeah. I was the one saying all year, you know what? Teams need to be careful because that whole first half of the season, we were figuring out how to overcome deficits early. But then it caught up to us. Like Jamal said, it caught up to us. We couldn't figure it out no more, especially with injury. We had a ton of injury on our side. And again, I'm not laying that as the major excuse. No, 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 no. We still got our asses kicked at the wrong part of the season, at the wrong end of the season. We got our asses kicked. But this is again, in comparison to the NFC champions, NFC East champion, Dallas Cowboys, who were at full strength. This
Okay,
was supposed to be their year, just like it's been their year for the past fucking 30.
okay, not
This,
you,
this
Dan. Not you. Because you said that the Eagles look like a first round exit. Not you. But most people I talked to, even with the injuries, told me that the Eagles, even depleted, would beat Tampa Bay's ass. Okay. Everybody that I talked to, all the Eagles fans in my area, all them Philadelphia people, and Eagles fans, they said, we ain't got to worry about it. I said, y'all injured, y'all fucked up, y'all been squeaking it out all season, y'all don't look good. And they said, oh, it don't matter, we can beat Tampa Bay. They was talking big shit. Even with the injuries, they were still, even with our injured team, we still gonna bust Tampa Bay's ass. That's what I was hearing. That's what I was told.
Look where you live, though, man.
what are you gonna expect? Just like Jamal said, though, what are you also going to expect out of people who are unreasonable, who don't look at the game logically, and don't look at the game for what the fuck it is? And and it's a part of what Ed said in the comment. Teams figured out the Eagles, and the team didn't adjust to the adjustments.
They caught up. The
Happens in
league
the
caught up to
NFL.
them. The league caught up.
So when you saw that the Eagles were playing Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield, and even with the injury, you was in your head going, "Oh, the Eagles gonna have a chance of winning this game."
I said that my team looked like a first round exit. But also, if you remember when we played the Bucks early in the season, when we stomped on them early in the game, and then them Bucks was able to climb back to try to make it look like a game. So I kind of had that feeling of, yeah, those Bucks could beat us from what they showed us in the beginning of the season. Those Bucks could beat us, but the way we were playing for those last 6 weeks, the fucking Giants beat us.
Should have beat
That
y'all
said,
twice.
that said everybody could beat us.
Yeah.
And you laugh, but I don't say that in complete disrespect. We got Giants fans here who said that their team was ass all season.
Yep.
I don't even think they expected that win. Wrong or wrong?
No.
PJ, are you back? I want to hear you
I'm
speak
here.
if you're back.
I'm here. No, I mean, first of all, when Lisper was saying about how the Cowboys and the Eagles are the same level, you got to look at how both organizations are ran too. You know, the Cowboys are ran by Jerry Jones, and that's it. Jerry Jones has to have complete control over everything from personnel to coach to staff to everything on how the Cowboys are run. The Eagles are not ran like that. But like you were saying, Dan, yeah, I mean, we almost beat them. I mean, we made it a game the first time, and then y'all just stomped us, and that was that because talent trumps talent. I mean, we don't have the personnel to keep up with you guys. But for us to be even, it shouldn't have been a close game, like you said. It should have been a close game from the jump because our offensive line is trash, and everybody who plays the Giants are looking at pad stat for sacks, turnovers, fumbles, interceptions, and everything because we just don't have that type of team or that type of product to put on the field to be competitive. So you're right. But you guys also went through several personnel changes with your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator, no? And that shit was on the fly in the middle of the season. So how is the team supposed to adjust to a new DC and a new OC in the middle of the season? That was a bad move. personally, I think that was a bad move by y'all. And they were calling vanilla. They were saying the Eagles' offense was very vanilla. You could call the plays before they even happened, and that's what happened. And that's what caught up to them. Basically, that's what caught up to them.
Right. And again, because Tyrone is not hijacking this towards the Eagles. This is Cowboy disrespect time.
Right.
The Cowboys was at full strength for the end of the season into the playoffs.
No excuses.
So personnel-wise, that was the biggest difference of what was on the field compared to.
Okay.
And what did Dennis Green say? They
You
are
who we thought they were.
thought they they are who we thought they were. And they let themselves off the hook.
Crown them. You want to crown them? Crown them.
Well, here's the funny thing. The Cowboys are being talked about more than any other team in the NFL for losing. Okay, so stop the bullshit. Y'all all have to admit the Cowboys is America's team. They made more headlines. They got more storylines. We're on here doing a whole episode based on them, and they lost. We're talking about losers here. So stop the bullshit. Everybody that be talking about that shit, Stephen A. Smith and all those people, why is the Cowboys America's team? The Cowboys is America's team because even in losing, not only losing, but getting their ass whooped. And we have so many stories to talk about. We had C.J. Stroud, who was a rookie quarterback and a rookie coach that won a game. We had the Detroit Lions and the Rams who put on a great game with the switching of the quarterbacks. That was a great story. But that Monday morning, the story was about the Dallas Cowboys. And everybody was talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and they lost. So I don't want to hear no more of y'all saying that they're not America's team. They is, because we talk more about them losing than we talked about all of these good winning-ass stories.
Well, the only person that's talking about them as America's team is you right now. Because we never brought that shit up, not once. What we brought up is, once again, this was their year. This was the best. This was one of the best pieces of product they've ever put on the field.
They were talking Dak was an MVP.
MVP caliber player. This
They
is
Dak
what
an
everybody is talking about. I'm going to repeat. This team was at full strength. No losses, no real major L's. Everybody was on that field.
Hey.
And they are who we thought they were.
I'm standing on it. I bet on it. I bet on the Cowboys to make the Super Bowl, and I lost my good hard
Lord Jesus.
No.
Why?
No.
I put some hard on. I made it rain on the Cowboys. I ain't gonna lie. I'm suffering now today. I'm sorry about it, but I did. I made it rain on the Cowboys because they should. In my mind, they were the best team in the league. I told y'all that when we did J1 Kind. The Cowboys were the best team in the NFL. And that's what I stood on.
For the regular season. The regular season, bro.
There's no way in hell on any field they was going to beat San Francisco.
Yes.
Never.
Yes. They was going to beat San Francisco. Yes.
You can't say that with a straight face, Ty. You can't say that with a straight face, bro. You can't even say that with a straight face.
Hold on. Y'all talking about San Francisco was so much better. Y'all talking about how they had to squeak by with the same team that beat the Cowboys. So don't act like San Francisco was the echelon. They just squeaked by. They won in the final minute against the same team that beat the Cowboys.
Tyrone.
What's their record without Debo this year?
Tyrone. That saying of every given Sunday is real.
It is. Just for some context, my lonely Giants beat that Green Bay team. I was at that game.
Yes.
Second to last home game. With Tommy DeVito, they beat Green Bay.
A third-string quarterback at that. A third-string quarterback.
I seen it, Ty. I seen it.
So if you're Green, if you're Giants and you think that, and they beat the Packers, right?
Yes,
then
sir.
why are y'all saying like it would be impossible to think that the Cowboys could beat the 49ers?
Because the Cowboys have a track record
Oh my
I'm
God.
choking. I'm
That
drinking
means
toilet
nothing.
water when it counts.
That means nothing. That's not the same thing.
It is,
but
Tyrone. It's like them second round sixes. When the
Oh my
history
God.
begins repeating itself, that's who you are. They're the second round sixes until they get to the third round.
that's it.
That's
And
it.
what's tripping me out the most right now, besides the fact that a bet is a bet. You can put money on whoever. You know what I'm saying? But your freaking dead skin Commanders are more rivals to the Cowboys than my Eagles. Historically.
Yes.
And the way that you're caping for them is fucking tripping me the fuck out.
Hey, Jay, listen. He said it the best. It's where I live at. It's where I live at, dude. It's where I live at. I hate the Eagles more than anything. And the Eagles hate the Cowboys more than anything. So the friend of my enemy, you know what I mean? What they say, if we got mutual enemies. So because I live in Philadelphia, I get so much hate, and I get so much Eagles fandom that the Eagles are my main enemy. So when they hate on the Cowboys, if my Commanders are out, I have to ride with Dallas because that's how
Never.
That is
never.
No, get
Never.
out of the NFC.
You are speaking blasphemous now.
Get out of the
now.
NFC.
You're not a real Commanders fan.
Go pick
You
another
are
team.
not a real Commanders fan, bro.
No.
You are
pick
not a
another
real
team.
Commanders fan.
Y'all don't know.
Bro.
Y'all don't know.
Bro.
Y'all
Go
don't
pick
know.
another team.
Bro, just hang it up.
He picked them with one of the fucking hog dresses on. Get the fuck
Bro,
out of here with that shit.
I'm glad
Come
you
on
lost
now.
your money now. I'm very glad you lost your money now. I'm not even that. I don't even feel bad for you, bro.
Yo,
To make an idiotic decision like that. No.
that hate right there is too far.
No.
Bro.
No,
my kids ate ramen noodles last night.
That was your fault. That was your fault. That was completely your fault, man. You got nobody to blame but you.
This is what we talking about right here. Ed said, as a New York Giants fan, I would rather eat glass than pull for a Cowboys, Eagles, or Cobra Commanders. I mean, and I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I don't cape for, but like the Giants are like, I just recently, because of personal shit, is why I dislike them so heavy over the last 10 years. But I don't really hate the Giants. You know what I'm saying? That's where the real difference is for me. It's like I don't really hate the Giants. I don't really hate your Commanders because
but you hate the Cowboys.
But the Cowboys hate is just that's like asking me to appreciate the to like the Red Sox. I appreciated what they did.
Lispa, that's like you saying
stand
that's like you saying that's like you saying you're married, but you still, if something happened to your wife, you go back to the chick who dogged you out 20 years ago. That's what you're saying, bro.
I'm with TJ.
That's exactly what you're saying, man.
No, tell me. You see what Dan just said? He don't hate the Giants. He don't hate the Commanders. I don't hate the Cowboys because I hate the Eagles because I live in Philadelphia, and me being a Commanders fan in Philadelphia, I get beat down by Eagles
because your squad sucks. That's why my squad sucks. Your squad sucks. My squad sucks, bro. It doesn't matter.
So because Eagles fans hate the Cowboys so much, and my Commanders stink so bad, every time the Cowboys get one up, I kind of got to be like, that's my only shot at fucking coming back to the Eagles fans is to use the Cowboys because I can't use my team because we fucking suck. So when the Cowboys won the division, I needed to ride with them motherfuckers against the Eagles fans.
Why it gotta be a dad? Why that's a starting 5 shirt? Why you giving that to DraftKings? My kids enjoy ramen noodles. That's all I'm gonna say. My kids enjoy it. My kids enjoy it. It ain't because the Cowboys lost. They just like that shit. I still eat this shit.
Bro, you chose You chose spaghetti. Oh, you chose ramen noodles over spaghetti, bro. That's what you
No,
did
no.
when you
I
bet on
buy
the
ramen
Eagles.
noodles. I buy
When
ramen
you bet on
noodles.
the Cowboys.
No, ramen noodles for the kids is for like a snack. Like if they want a little snack, they a little hungry, they throw a pack of ramen noodles on in the microwave.
Same thing.
They like it like that. But they had to eat it for dinner.
That's
Don't
a
hurt my
you
feelings.
problem, Dad. That's a you problem, Dad. Cause you went with
Somebody
them
called
VHS.
diapers. Somebody called diapers, bro. You just abusing the kids, man. Why you put your kids through that, man?
So
Knowing damn
Jamal,
well that
I
shouldn't have
gotta
happened.
ask you, what are some things that's happened? What are some major events? Once again, we might be reciting some of them. But what are some major events that's happened in the world that's caused major change since the last time the Cowboys, did something in Tyrone's words?
So to me, the most telling is that there was no Google, so you couldn't even Google the Cowboys. There was no Google. What else? You couldn't search the web and talk on the phone at the same time. The last time the Cowboys won.
Wow.
I think we were all there for that one. Yeah, go ahead. I was about to, I choked on my point, but go ahead, yeah.
What else there? So Tom Brady was a senior in high school when the Cowboys last won.
The alleged GOAT.
We were 6 years away from the Texans even existing.
Like
Wow.
Ed said, Ed added one. There was no Facebook. No Facebook shit post of winning a Super Bowl exists. He said you have to find MySpace pages or Friendster.
Man, what else
Bro,
is
the
there?
CD player lived and died. The CD player lived and died
The
before
Laserdisc.
since the Cowboys last won a Super Bowl.
That's right. You can probably
The
get that
CD
Super
player.
Bowl run on Laserdisc, I think. What else is there? Since the Cowboys' last Super Bowl, they've had 25 starting quarterbacks. 25.
Jesus.
Well, damn.
That's
How
a
many?
lot.
Let's sit on that one for a second.
Yes, sir.
Besides Tony Romo, how many more can we name?
Oh, who's the black quarterback that was there
Quincy
for a hot
Carter,
second?
right? Is it Quincy Carter?
Yep.
Yeah.
Quincy Carter. Who else? Shit, there's a lot. That's a lot.
Didn't Hofstadter go there? No.
He
No,
went to the Raiders. Drew Bledsoe. They had the
Bledsoe.
antique version of Drew
They had
Bledsoe.
They had the Red Rocket for a hot second. The dude that used to play for the Bengals.
Yep.
Just look at the coaches.
I don't like
Dave
this
Campbell.
Their former offensive coordinator, who's in LA with the Chargers, was there. I forgot his name. The kid from Boise State.
I don't like this stat because the Redskins had more quarterbacks than that. So I don't appreciate it.
Well, Ed said before we keep going, Jamal, DVDs came and went before the Cowboys won another chip.
Hey, Ed, DVDs are still here. So you can and buy a fucking DVD, all right? So DVDs
were ramen noodles a thing? Was it ramen noodles a thing when the Cowboys won?
They always were. They always been. I got DVDs. My wife just said she wants me to get rid of that been around and back before the Cowboys last Super Bowl.
Yeah, Jason Garrett was a coach and QB before the Dallas Cowboys won a chip. And
Word.
Right.
Word.
Yeah, hold on. Let's be clear, right? Y'all talking about the Cowboys last time they won a chip. But let's be clear about this, okay? Y'all don't do that for no other team. Detroit Lions ain't never won no motherfucking Super Bowl, okay? So
because this ain't about
nobody's fan base talk as much shit as the Cowboys, and there's no other team that gets more media coverage and media bias because all those fuckers are in the sports media than the Cowboys. And that's why
they still got more Super Bowls than most of the teams in the league, though. I mean, I can still
Tyrone. No matter how much you shrug your shoulders and did this right there, it still don't change the fact. It still don't change the fact that what Jamal just said. Their fan base is one of the biggest shit talking fan bases on the fucking planet.
I
And
know.
y'all can bring my Eagles back up again. Ours is more recent than yours. It's not about the number right now. It's about the Giants is far more recent than yours.
Not
Everybody's
mine.
far more recent than yours.
Well, look, I can't talk. Redskins won Super Bowl in 91-92 season. That was the last time we even
Commanders,
sniffed.
son. It's the Commanders, sir. It's the
It's the
Commanders.
Redskins for me. Listen, y'all can think it's racist all you want, but I have it on from Native Americans out the mouth that they never agree with that being racist, and so I'm not offending nobody when I say Redskins. Okay, Commanders is not
Tyrone.
the name. And what?
Tyrone,
Yeah.
your alleged passing quarterback that you love so much that the Cowboys always get, still haven't won shit with a pocket passer. How about that? The Cowboys with their pocket passer haven't won shit.
You said Eagles and Cowboys fans are the biggest shit talkers.
Right.
I would say y'all Raiders fans too.
No, fuck
and
no.
Raiders fans, win or lose, ride harder than most teams, except for them fucking Cowboys.
No,
Let's
come on.
continue. Fuck that. What else, Jamal? What else came?
So we've
had a black president since the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
7 whole presidential terms. 7 whole presidential terms. Stay with
Hold on. The black president thing don't count because we ain't had a good candidate. The only person we had was Jesse Jackson, and so
no, don't even say that.
Who's a good?
Don't even say that.
Who's a good black candidate before Barack?
Alan Keith.
Anyone? Tell me him.
J.C. Watts.
Well, you see to make his point, he reduced it to candidate. There wasn't that many since the Cowboys last won their Super Bowl. Still wasn't that many before the Cowboys won their last one.
There was no Bluetooth before the Cowboys since the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
You can still keep your shoes on and go through security to fly.
Right? You could bring a water bottle on the plane still.
Yes.
It wasn't bomb water. Shout out to Hannibal Burris.
You still needed to have a hard copy Rolodex to memorize phone numbers. Oh man.
Bro, payphones have died since the Cowboys won a championship.
Payphones have died. Yo, was there even Amazon? There was no Amazon either, right?
Nope. There was no Amazon. There was no Amazon.
Cell phones started off as big as this glove, and then went as small as this, and went back to as big as this glove.
You know what else it wasn't? It wasn't no fucking podcast neither. So how about that?
This is true.
What else is there?
Bro.
None of us knew each other since.
Michael Fish had died.
Scientists were afraid that on January 1st, the year 2000, the world would end.
Hey, get this.
Everybody unplugged their computers.
I got a crazy one for y'all. The woman that I live with right now wasn't even born.
Oh shit. Ed said the only Amazon that existed was the jungle in Brazil. Oh shit. We went through snakes on a plane.
Bro. There was no Fast and Furious before the Cowboys won.
All Not of even the first rap icons were still living.
Right?
Ooh. Facts.
Right?
Let's see. What else is it? Oh, yeah, there you go. The most famous blowjob ever given didn't happen yet.
Oh shit.
Kobe didn't happen yet.
True.
Kobe didn't happen yet.
That's right.
There's a lot, man. It's a lot. You could fit in an encyclopedia worth of shit of stuff happening that happened since the Cowboys won the last championship, and the encyclopedias don't exist anymore.
They gonna win one.
That part, TJ. It went the way of print media. Full circle. 2 Bushes have been in the Oval Office since the Cowboys last won a title.
Word.
2 Bushes.
I mean,
Titty Boy put on 2 chains. Those belts weren't around.
No, those belts wasn't around.
It's my only saving grace. It's my only saving grace right now. I'm losing bad.
Jesus Christ. The list is long. It's a laundry list. The list is long.
I got married since then. Back when the Cowboys won, I had no girls.
You right.
And my daughter was a virgin.
My daughter was a twinkle in my eye back then. You know what I'm saying?
I was still a virgin and had no girlfriends back when the Cowboys last one.
I wasn't no virgin in '92. I ain't gonna lie.
Jamal didn't pick up the camera fully yet, other than the 35 millimeter film.
Right. I had to point and shoot the flat joint.
That's it. The rectangle joint with the cube flashes on the top.
Yeah.
There wasn't no Tubi movies. You know what I mean? There wasn't no Tubi.
Yeah, there was no Tubi. Pixar wasn't a thing, really.
I think I bought my first pair of high-techs.
You know what I'm saying? What,
there was no Serato. There was no Serato for DJs.
Nope. Yo, Echo came and went.
Word.
Auto tunes. There was no auto tunes.
No, there was auto tune. There was Roger Troutman started that back in the day.
It wasn't as prevalent though.
Yeah. No, well, my bad. It wasn't auto tune because auto tune is just a plug-in for software. Most of the software wasn't around then.
There were no Fruit Loops. There was no Fruity Loops.
There was no Fruity Loops. No.
Yo, there was Fruit Loops. What are you talking about?
No, the cereal, not the DJ, not the music.
Not the music production equipment. I mean,
Pro Tools. None of that stuff.
Pro Tools, I think was a thing because the RZA was one of the. No, it might not have been.
I don't think it was back then.
Since '96, it might not have been. Maybe not.
It didn't matter. Cowboys didn't win shit anyway that year, so it don't matter.
How many versions of Windows did we go through?
Oh,
ooh.
We went through mad versions of Windows. Macs went from built-in things with color backs to MacBook Pros. We got iPhones now, all
Wi-Fi.
iPhone, Wi-Fi. The life in the internet and everything has expanded immensely.
Look at the technology in the medical field in the last time since the Cowboys have won a championship. The medical field has exploded.
AIDS been wiped out.
Dr. Sebi cured AIDS in that time. went through the court case and won and died since the Cowboys.
It's actually, we got cholesterol meds now.
Right? Flu shots are a thing. The other shots are a thing.
None of this stuff y'all saying negates the fact that the Cowboys was a legitimate Super Bowl contender this year. That's all I'm saying. They was.
They wasn't. But
that's the problem. Is they were legitimate. They were legitimate. They were. We never said they wasn't. We never said that they weren't.
TJ exact words was they wasn't.
Yeah, I said they wasn't because they don't do shit when it comes to the playoffs, man. Their epic failures in the playoffs rival shit that we've never seen. But they were doing shit we never seen. But Tony Rumble fumbled the snap for a fucking extra point. Then the shit that happened to the Cowboys in the playoffs, you never seen it. It never happened twice. It only happened to the Cowboys.
Hey TJ, I just started laughing because that's the one thing I always go back to. Like the Cowboys literally needed an extra point to win, and Tony Romo
Polaroid made a comeback.
Ed dropped a few comments. He said Polaroid made a comeback before the Cowboys won a ring, another ring. He said this is the most killer one. Pause on the killer, my bad on the killer part, but most of the Von Erichs were in the stands watching the Cowboys win. The last time
That's Bobby. My bad on the
killer part. That cut deep. That cut deep.
Yeah, it did. That was
wow. Owen Hart, rest in peace. Owen Hart was still here.
Hey, Dan, why you say my bad on the killer part, though?
Hey, yo, what's her name? Kimberly from Different Strokes didn't knock off that video store in Vegas yet.
Oh man.
Yo, Judy still hasn't come back downstairs.
Oh my
That's what's gonna happen. When the Cowboys win the Super Bowl, Judy gonna come down and step.
Let me tell you something, bro. The Cowboys winning the Super Bowl. You think the Knicks fan base is gonna be insufferable if we win a chip? You ain't seen shit until if the Cowboys win something.
I'm telling you right now, Jamal. If the Knicks win a championship in our lifetime, Manhattan will be on fire for a week. Literally, just.
I'm gonna be obnoxious for a good 10 days. I'm gonna be obnoxious as fuck.
Well, I was gonna say if the Cowboys won, the purge would happen. But how many purge movies did we have to describe this? And it still hasn't happened yet.
Okay. Bet right now. Cowboys win the Super Bowl before the Knicks win an NBA championship.
No, we ain't betting that. That's stupid. I don't want to be eating ramen for dinner like you did. I mean, I ain't against eating ramen for dinner, but I don't want to make that I want to have options. I don't want to, I don't want it to be like I'm forced to. I like options. I like options. Just like the option to end this podcast and almost we're definitely well over 400 plus episodes since the Cowboys last won their Super Bowl. But I don't have the accurate count because the internet will say we only at 2 and change, but we lost so many in me transitioning from platforms. We're definitely well over 400, probably close to approaching, if not 500 by now, since the Cowboys last won their Super Bowl. The Lisper podcast got mad belts since the last one.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen. I'm displaying this belt because although I lost the match, I'm still the heavyweight champion because y'all got disqualified. I mean, I got disqualified. Y'all won because I got disqualified. I cheated so I could keep my belt.
Again, that's only because we're not in the same space.
Y'all won by disqualification.
The finger poker doom happened. Hulk Hogan became Terry Bollea. The ultimate bigot ran wild and died.
Dude.
Yes,
The Rock became the biggest movie star in the world.
Yep.
Since then.
And the worst. Yep.
And the worst.
The Rock is terrible. Y'all like him as an actor?
I never said he was the greatest, but nobody ever says he's the best. He just became the highest paid.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's a topic for another day.
The XFL came and went twice.
Yes, sir.
The USFL returned and left again.
Well, now what is it called now? What's the new football league coming out? The spring football.
The
It's the
Oh, that's
UFL.
the UFL. That's the XFL and USFL combined, I think.
Yep.
I'm gonna watch some of that.
Nah, definitely.
Hey, yo, the Cowboys might win the championship over there.
They got a better shot. They definitely got a better shot.
They should go undefeated in a league like that.
Nick Saban has retired, and the Cowboys still haven't won a championship, bro. Bill Belichick retired, left the Patriots.
Damn.
What more can you say?
And back then he was still back then he
was the Cleveland Browns?
Still a coordinator. He was still a coordinator on teams, I think. Because he had
I know 91 he was still coordinator of the Giants.
And he was the Jets head coach for 10 minutes.
Right.
For 10 minutes, I think, and then went to New England.
No, he went to Cleveland first. He was a head coach in Cleveland for like 3
and then I think
years.
that's when he went to the Jets and stayed there for a press conference, and then I think went to New England. I think that's how the order went. I could be wrong because I'm not looking it up right now. But again,
yeah,
the machine to look it up that Jamal kicked it off with, Google, wasn't thing. Yahoo.
We got AI now. We got AI now.
Allen Iverson, we had him in '96.
He came and retired. Pause. Since
yep, he came and retired.
We had Starberry sneakers. They came and went.
Yep.
Yeah, here you go. Belichick faxed his resignation with the Jets.
A lot has happened.
That's enough. I just love that annual. It's becoming an annual tradition now. We might have skipped a couple years here and there. Some years the Cowboys didn't make the playoffs before we was able to start this. But when the whole VHS Boyz thing started, it was because it was just, again, it was their year. It was their year every year. This year,
next year too.
This year should have been close to. And I could keep it real. All the shit we talked, this year they should have been close to. On paper, they definitely had one of the best rosters on the field that got exposed at the wrong time.
So before we go, whose year is it then? Let's go. Who year is it? Because I bet on the Cowboys and I was wrong, so now I gotta change mine. But whose year is it?
Lamar Jackson's.
I was about to say I'm liking Baltimore, not Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore.
I'm liking Baltimore.
Yeah. Yo. Yeah, that's
they, they got what they got 2 games left.
Yo, somebody get 3. That man a speech coach. Somebody get that man a speech coach. He's country as hell, bro.
That's South Florida, Baltimore. He's South Florida, but I'm talking Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Well, we done. Enough shit has flown out of our mouths. Tyrone did enough caping. We got to save him another week and end this show. You know what to do, Tyrone.
Man, this was fun. You know what I mean? And I like the fact that I can stand on business and fight my own battles and lose and still keep my title because I purposely got the Spotify to hit Dan with the chair. I know how to But yeah, this was fun. This was great. And one thing for sure, 2 things for certain. I am a Commanders fan, and I do not like. Let's get this.
You're not a Commanders fan if your kids are eating ramen. You're not a Commanders fan if your kids are eating ramen, bro. Shut up.
I do not like Dallas Cowboys.
No, I don't want to hear it.
I'm not a Cowboys fan. I just want to say that. And I had fun, and I can't wait till next time.
Jamal.
That's what's up. No, shout out to everybody in the comments. Shout out Ed, always dropping some gems. Lisper standing on that business and you know, standing on that hill and fighting from all sides another week. Like I said, you keep the show real interesting.
Come on, can I say one thing too?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Ed, if you're listening, you need to get on here. Stop being you in the comments every week. Why not just hit the link and be on the show? I don't
Ed's always
understand.
welcome. He's
We gonna
been
Yeah,
a
get we gonna
several
get better.
time returning
Yeah,
guest.
yeah, we love
yeah.
Ed.
We gonna get it back on.
So why not get on the show? You know, you're here every week, so just get on.
And we gonna reach out to Ed. Shout out TJ and the mayor. Shout out to Big O. He said he just got back from DC. He's gonna try and get on. But we wrapping up. Peace to Ishtar. Peace to Disabled Planets. Peace to Ill Magic. TJ.
Yeah, man, another good week, another good show. Shout out to O. Love your participation in the show this week. It was always quality. Shout out to Elizabeth for standing on her business. You know what I'm saying? You are not a Commanders fan if you have your kids eating ramen. I don't care what you say, ever. Well, I'm calling Dyfus on you if you ever say some shit like that again.
Yo, one last stat. O was on my boy. O was on time the last time the Cowboys won. My man O.
That's the best one.
Yeah, man. This was dope. This was dope. I love the camaraderie between all of us. I love the show. Despite my technical difficulties every week. I don't know what the hell's going on over here, but yo, this was all love, all fun. Love you guys. Love you guys in the comments. Always commenting and putting in your 2 cents. It's always great. So that's where I'm leaving it off at. Go ahead.
Word. And yeah, this was fun. I'm glad last week is over with, man. I went through. I've started a career and I can retire probably before the Cowboys win the next one. Just how about that? I'll leave that last stat on y'all with that. Like, I can retire from the Department of Sanitation before the Cowboys will win their next one. Yeah, so yeah, I'm already counting them out for the next 3 years. So I'm already counting them out. But big ups to everybody in the comments as always. Big ups to everybody who's been rocking with us all these years. Hooksrub.com, 20% off your order using the code starting5, as you've seen scrolling if you're watching on YouTube. If not, if you're on the podcast streaming platforms, as always, it's in the show notes. Hooksrub.com, 20% off, code starting5. It's cold, but you can still use the best barbecue seasoning out there indoors. I use the midnight all the time. I love using the roster rub all the time, especially on like shrimp and stuff like that. Man, good shit. But yeah, always support Jared and the homies over there at Hooks Rub, just like you support us. Make sure you're following us everywhere. Links were already in the show notes. And that's
Yeah,
it.
you're gonna get a lot of money from me because fucking with y'all, I gotta eat a lot of them pro sandwiches and they're nasty. But
that's all right. Tyrone stood. He didn't stand on business. He didn't stand on business today. He stood on beef packs. He stood on packs of beef ramen.
He should have used the hook rubs and spices on them ramen packs he gave his kids. That's what he should have used.
Hey, I use them on my pro sandwiches, man. I've been eating a lot of them fucking with you guys.
That's right. A little bit of fresh catch with the shrimp packs. Probably be dope. Until then, peace. See y'all next week.
Peace.
Oh, wait, and my bad. New episodes of the Wrestling Podcast coming this week and weeks future. Shout out to my brother below, Tyrone. We got 2 episodes up right now. One about Kings Road style wrestling, and last week's was about the Mega Powers, where Tyrone got the blowriate over his love of Terry Bollea. And we didn't call you notice we didn't call him Terry not one time in the episode. We called him Hulk Hogan. I know that made you proud as a former Hulkamaniac, but fuck that. It's Terry Bollea for life, and fuck the ultimate bigot. Peace.